Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Boxing Social in partnership with freebets.com, Empire Fight Store, and Forged Irish Stout. And I'm joined now with the one and only Joseph Parker. Joe. What would you prefer to go by?
Bob. No, Joseph, Joe, JP, whatever. Parker.
My dad's JP.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Good. Your dad must be a great guy.
He is. So what? I'll call you Joe.
Lupe soli ai la uli le male to. Joseph Parker.
Is that how you say your name in full?
That's my full name.
Okay.
When they announce it in the ring, it's Lupe soli ai la uli le male to. Joseph Parker. In the blue corner.
Where's the link to? Because I not grew up, but I lived a part of my life in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
So
very similar to
very
Samoa.
similar, yeah.
Palm trees, mango, coconuts, a lot of brown people.
Dancing.
Dancing, a lot of dancing. Yeah. Tattoos, you know, tribal tattoos.
Yeah,
yeah.
The tribal
it's very
culture.
similar, yeah.
Well, anyways, we're here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. You are, what, 2 nights away now from your fight? What day are we on?
We're on Wednesday.
Technically Wednesday now.
Yeah.
So two nights away.
2 nights away. The fight, you know, in fight week, when you're doing all these commitments, like the red carpet, the public workout, then you go into the press conference weigh-in, it feels like it's all part of like the process and leading to a fight, and you get more excited with each day that passes because you're closer to the fight.
Some people don't actually like to do all that. Do you enjoy the whole?
I enjoy everything from the camp, the training, the food, and heading into fight week. I enjoy it all.
So you don't mind talking to people like me?
Nah, listen, I don't have a lot to say.
Sometimes they like to avoid us, you know.
I don't have a lot to say, but I don't mind all of this stuff. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
And you rather enjoy it and have fun doing it because it's not going to be here forever.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. Can we circle back, because I obviously wasn't here for your fight against Deontay Wilder. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Obviously, it was never a matter of overlooking you, but I think a lot of people just assumed Deontay Wilder, you know, monstrous right hand, this, and that. He's going to take him out, blah, 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 blah. For you to sort of shut all of them up, for you to have done what you've done, reflecting back on that, like, what's that feel like?
When I reflect back on the fight, I followed the game plan. And we had a great camp going into it, and we were confident. I was very confident, and I was confident in the work that I'd done with the team that I could put on a great performance. Wilder, I thought he was going to put a lot more pressure on me, but he was on the back foot. I'm not sure he was trying to box and trying to set up the right hand. But with the plan that we came up with Andy, we countered his right hand with my own right hand, and I think that helped nullify what he was trying to do. And I didn't really have a lot of time to reflect on the fight. I flew home, spent Christmas with the family, or the day after Christmas. Went to Samoa for a week, and then I was called up and said, hey, there's another fight, do you want it? And I took that fight straight away. So it's not so much, that fight's already done now with Wilder, and there's a bigger challenge now in front of me, a big Chinese man.
Before we get to the Big Bang.
Big Bang.
When you think about, like, in the lead up to that fight with Wilder, there was a lot of talk already about there potentially being a Joshua Wilder fight if they should win. Was that a big part of your motivation going into it, to kind of disrupt those plans that they had? Because it was kind of like, in a weird way, overlooking.
Looking past. Not so much my motivation, but in boxing, there are always going to be discussions of fights in the future. Future matchups, and
which we're guilty of asking about. I mean, I'll take.
I feel like in this case, they already signed the fight, but that wasn't really a motivation for me. My motivation was to show that I still belong at the top in the boxing world, and just to go out there and give my best effort. And I had the best camp, and I felt great, and it showed on the night. Was
there ever a conversation to sort of say, like, well, look, Deontay didn't win, but I did, and I deserve another shot at Anthony Joshua?
We had the conversation after the fight, myself, Andy Lee, David Higgins, you know, and the team. But things happen. You know, Joshua signed the fight with Ngannou, and that's an interesting fight itself. And they offered me Zhang, which I accepted. And so I thought I could have had it with Anthony Joshua again, but no, here we are now with Zhang.
At some point, though, I would imagine that perhaps your guys' paths could cross.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
I would like to avenge the losses in my career after I take care of Zhang twice. You know, fight Zhang this Friday, have a rematch in place when I win, and then I can, you know, look at avenging the losses to Joshua, White, or Joyce.
Do you almost prefer, because, you know, like with Wilder, he talks a lot. He has a really large persona.
He can talk because of what he's done in the ring, and he backs it up. So when he talks, a lot of people take interest in it because of what he's done. And he came into the fight with the record that he has and the big right hand, and it was in that fight I had to be really alert and on point for the whole fight. My eyes were like this. You know?
How much advice also did you receive, I'm sure, from Tyson Fury?
Big. He was a big help leading into that fight. You know, I think a crucial part of that camp was flying over to England from Ireland, where we started our camp and did rounds of sparring with Tyson. And he was able to, you know, what Andy already knew, but he was able to just help Andy come up with a plan, and he was very important leading into that fight.
Well, yeah, having shared the ring with him three times.
3 times, yeah.
Right. When you were in the ring and when you were, I mean, let's just say round 6 at this point, and you're watching, you're not watching, but you're seeing now that Deontay's not exactly doing, I think, what everyone thought that he was going to, and he was talking very big prior to it as well, you know, saying like he was going to destroy you, basically. What was going through your mind at that point?
To be honest, in the fight, when you're doing very well, you can't really get excited because there's, you know, say round 6, there's another half of the fight to go.
Especially with Deontay, because I mean, anything could happen. Exactly.
Anything can happen, and then one punch can change everything. Yeah. It was just nice after each round coming back to the corner and getting the reminders from Andy and saying what I was doing good, saying what I need to work on, saying what I need to look out for, and those reminders helped me each round going into the fight. And I was just, like I said, alert. And the great thing was practicing it in sparring, practicing it in training, and then letting it happen.
There's no questioning that you have one hell of a chin. Who would you say has hit you the hardest so far?
I would say flush would be Andy Ruiz, just because of the snappiness of his punches. Joshua didn't really hit me clean. Wilder didn't hit me clean. Joy Joyce Joy Joyce did knock me down. But I would say the one that I did remember would be Andy Ruiz. Just like, holy damn, you know, it was a bit of a shock, just because he punches with a lot of speed. And he's a very compact fighter.
Well, you're about to share the ring with someone who calls himself the Big Bang, you know, Big Bang Zhang.
Bang, bang, bang. The Big Bang.
The Big Bang, yeah. He's kind of come out as sort of like a surprise to everybody, which I don't see why that is, because if anybody sort of knows his history, then they would know that he is a very dangerous opponent. But he just hasn't really had any big breaks until recently. Obviously, the 2 wins over Joe Joyce. What do you make of him?
Big Bang. He's a big man.
Yeah. He's a fucking unit, dude.
He's a big man, big head, big body, and a lot of body to aim for. And he's going to come off from those 2 wins over Joe Joyce and all the other wins, confidence, and backs himself. But in this fight, I've done so much work with George Lockhart, food-wise, training-wise, recovery-wise. I've done so much work with Andy Lee, and I feel like I'm going to be too quick. And I'm going to be very smart. I'm going to box and move, and I think I'm going to show the difference in age, being 32 and him 40 years old. So listen, he's still got a lot of power, and I think power is one of the things that you don't really lose as a heavyweight. It's one of the things that goes last. So he's always going to have it there, but I just feel like this is the fight that's going to show my boxing IQ in the ring.
How did you prepare for him, given his size and his style? Like, who particularly did you spar with the most?
I left it to Andy Lee to bring the sparring partners in. George did all the conditioning, and so I know I'm fit to go 15 rounds. But Andy brought in some guys, some great guys from America, from Croatia, guys from England, and I feel like we had the necessary sparring to prepare for Zhang. Probably guys who are quicker and a lot more speed, but we needed the best work that we could get.
I spoke to Zhang just a few hours ago, and he actually said he spoke very highly of you. I was very impressed with how you handled Deontay, but he said he hopes that you last. Would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I hope I last too. What am I supposed to do?
He's like, I just hope he lasts. And I'm like, okay.
Listen, if Zhang is, I know Zhang's a smart fighter, and he's taking this fight very seriously. It's this fight can change both our careers again moving forward. I have no issues with lasting 12 rounds. I've showed that in the past many times. He's had issues. I'm not banking on him to get tired. I want the best Zhang there is because it brings out the best in me.
Studying him, do you want to talk about what maybe weaknesses that you've seen in his fighting style?
I don't know. I haven't seen any weaknesses. He's like solid as they come. He's very good. But I will show you. I will show you what I've been working on with Andy.
Okay. You're very confident. I love that. You have a lot. I mean, you should be. Like I said, the last performance really, it proved more than I think anyone else has seen in any other fighter. And when I say what I mean by that is you're talking about somebody in the division who's been notorious for being the boogeyman, basically. No one wants to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. You've proven that you're more than capable of handling someone like him. We've seen, obviously, your previous opponents. But with Zhang, would you say that this is the first time you're sort of fighting? Because he's really big. This guy's really big. He's not one-dimensional.
No, he's not, no.
Which makes him that much more dangerous.
Deceptively quite, like they say he's got slow feet, but he's very deceptive. And we've seen in the Herkovich fight, which was one of his recent ones, more recent ones, that he went the full 12 rounds, and it was a high-paced fight, and he landed very good and clean shots. I thought Herkovich did win the fight, but it was a very close fight. And, you know, he's a very tricky, I'm not going to say old man, he's a tricky man.
Just a little dig.
Just a little dig. He's a tricky man.
Yeah, he's a tricky man.
Yeah.
He is. What do you feel that a win over Zhang says about you and where you're at currently in your career?
I will fight anyone.
Yeah,
And
we
everyone.
know that.
And a win over Zhang will put me right up at the top. I need to beat Zhang twice. I'm locked in for a rematch. So it's a one-way rematch clause where I beat Zhang and then fight him again. If Zhang gets lucky and beats me, then it's I have to move on to something else. But I'm very confident.
Well, Joe, you just said the top. You know who sits there.
Yeah. Listen,
Hey, the homie sits there. So
the big GK. The belts will be held up at the top for a while, I still believe. Like, you got the fight with Usyk and Tyson.
Have you guys not ever had that conversation about, look,
You know what?
could we put it
I would say
aside?
this, though. If the fight was to be talked about, Tyson and I, we would both say no. But if Tyson knew it was going to change my life and look after my family for the rest of my life, he'll do it just to help me out. And then we'll have a great fight. But he's one of those guys where he'll do something to help someone else out if he can. It'll be a great fight. Listen,
It would have
we've
definitely.
had some great sparring sessions. Tyson is a beast, you know. But
It would have a hell of a storyline.
it'll be a great story, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go. Zhang's Zhang's right here first.
Well, again, here we go, jumping ahead a little bit. Okay, so should you be successful on the night,
Yep.
then what?
Successful Friday night, beat Zhang. Want to fly home to New Zealand and see my wife and kids. Have my next baby in April.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you. And then George Lockhart's going to fly down to New Zealand. We're going to work hard for the next 4 months.
Okay.
Building, grinding away. And the next time you guys see me, I'm going to have an 8-pack.
Okay. Man, somebody's doing something in these camps because even Tyson be looking like he got him a little six-pack going too. And I don't think I've ever seen Tyson have a six-pack.
Listen, I like George and Andy together. I love boxing way more.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm in shape all the time. I'm eating the right food. I got Paul here massaging me every day, twice a day.
Lucky you.
Look at me, I'm living the dream. I got my
Do you crack
family
backs
here.
too? Just kidding. No, I've been talking about I need somebody to crack my back. I'm like, does he crack backs too?
He does it all. But like, I got a great team. I'm very blessed, and I'm in a great
Yeah.
position to be fighting in these top fights and top events, and I'm having fun while doing it.
Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Be honest.
I have no idea. I said Joshua.
You really don't have any idea. Like most people, I'm going to be honest with you. All fighters are pretty much saying like Joshua should win.
That's what they say. He
should win.
Like
Now,
what they said. Yeah.
Carl Froch said, Carl's the super opinionated Carl Froch. He said that if Anthony Joshua does not win, that this would be the end of his career. Do you agree with that?
So Carl Froch, I don't know. Probably, yeah, because it's one of those fights where, Joshua is the fighter. He's been a fighter for his whole life and his whole career. And he's fighting someone who's only had his second professional fight. So it's a tough one to come back from. It would be a very tough one.
Joshua's finally now saying that he sees, regardless of what happens, a fight with him and Tyson Fury as well.
Yeah, that'll be massive.
Yeah.
It's a fight that everyone's been talking about for a long time. There's massive fights, there's big fights out there to be made. But each fighter has to get past their opponents.
Are you surprised sort of how Francis Ngannou has become this sort of dark horse of the heavyweight division? He's just kind of come in and done what he's done. A lot of people are split on who won, whether it had been Ngannou or Fury. But
Tyson won the fight.
But
I know he got knocked down, but he got up and won the fight. It was a close fight. Ngannou fought the fight of his life. And Tyson didn't really fight the best fight. But he did win. That's my opinion.
Shocking, though, and
It was
by his
surprise,
performance,
yeah,
shocking, given that
surprise.
it's his first professional fight.
But
and he was
fighting background.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Francis Ngannou when I was training in Vegas with my old trainer. I remember seeing him in the gym, like 2014, 15, training and sparring, and getting amongst it with boxers.
So you don't want to give me a prediction?
May the best man win. It's going to be a great fight.
All right. Well, one last thing before we wrap this up. What did you make of sort of all of this conspiracy talk going around about Tyson's injury and whatnot?
The world is full of people with great opinions. And whenever someone says something, someone will stick to it and they'll believe whatever they want to believe. But we've seen them. We've seen the cut, and he's healing up now. He's had time off, and he's ready to go again.
He looks really lean. Do you know how much he weighs right about now?
No, I'm not sure, but he looks
He
lean.
arrived in Riyadh, so
He
I
looks
saw.
lean. I look leaner. Thanks, George.
What do you anticipate you're going to weigh in at?
I'm probably going to weigh in 112, 113 kgs. What's that, 245, 250 pounds? 248 maybe. Yeah, something like that. I think so. I feel good.
Okay.
240? 240?
Yeah, 112 kilos?
113 kg.
That's 2.2 kilos to the pound, so mass.
Carry the two.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. What time is it right now? Like 2:30? 10 past 2.
209.
2:09, yeah. Well, thank you for, obviously this is normal for you to be up this late. What time do you roughly go to bed then? Like
Probably
5?
Around 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, just there's the
acclimate.
team. When we got here, we made a plan with George and Andy to shift everything and
Smart.
to get used to staying up late, because that's the time we're fighting.
Right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. All the best to you on the night. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you post-fight.
Post-fight, yeah.
And
for sure.
anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you, fight fans. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you guys very soon on the other side.
Thank you. Bye, fight fans.